What's going on, guys? You're tuned into the Monday Coffee Show. I'm James.
And I'm Travis.
And today we're going to be talking about Obama, MLK, and how far we've come in society today. If you don't know, for whatever reason, today is Martin Luther King Day. And to pretty much sum up what he's done or what he did do, pretty much, dismantle the whole oppressive state of, the U.S. government and things being segregated. So there used to be like white-only restaurants, bathrooms, water fountains, black-only restaurants, water fountains. Schools were that way, and it's just kind of eerie to think that it wasn't too long ago. Because like, do you see the way things are today, like in the news or whatever? But it's like things were a lot worse back then, and it's like we've made a lot of progress, but it's still kind of weird to think it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I mean, our grandparents were like grown adults doing grown adult things like while all of that was going on, and which I even I had like a strange moment where I like said that to my grandmother. I was like, that within your lifetime, like all of this has changed, and it's crazy. For me, MLK Day has had a kind of a strong significance for the last couple of years because I was a city year corps member for 2 years. And city year treats, and a lot of organizations treat MLK Day as a day of service. Like city year has the fun habit of saying it's not a day off, it's a day on. It's actually a great organization, and I really like them. If you're looking for a job for a year next year, you should definitely sign up for it. It's a pretty good time. But I got used to thinking of that as this day of service idea, and so even if I haven't like volunteered with something formal that was happening, one year I went out and just cleaned up all the trash on my street because I felt like I needed to do something. And a different year, I think it was like really, really snowy and really gross, so I just like went and like shoveled. So for me, that's always had that significance because MLK has a really great quote about like, you can't necessarily do everything, you can't necessarily do, even if you're not capable of doing all these things, you can always serve. And he says it much better. It was a very bad misquoting.
Yeah, so what would you say would be like the main thing that you took away from not only his like I Have a Dream speech, but his work in general in society?
I think that a lot of I really like his policy on nonviolence. That it was a I am a very nonviolent person. I actually don't think that necessarily solves a lot. But I like his thing of like, no, you can like really disrupt stuff even without needing this. And I think that he did that very well. Granted, I also really appreciate what he said, where he said, riots, while he is not the biggest fan of them, they are the voice of unheard people. Like, if you're not going to listen to people, they are going to react that way. And I think he made some very strong points there, and I think that he showed it very well. I think that it's unfortunate because for a person who preached nonviolence, he was still shot in the chest in broad daylight, which is a really terrible irony.
Yeah, I was thinking that literally.
Yes.
I think the main thing that I would take away from it is the fact that he united so many people. Like, people have a tendency to just look at somebody and the first thing they judge them off of is their skin color. And And this is people of all races. It's not just white people. Let's keep it real. Some people look at people and they're like, oh, you're this, so I have this generalization about you. But then they feel a type of way when it's done to them. I feel like we all just need to kind of realize, treat people as individuals, treat people the way that you would want to be treated. And if somebody, I guess, treats you in a way that you don't feel is acceptable, then just distance yourself from that person, move on, because retaliating physically is not really going to solve anything. They're still going to have that same opinion about you, and their life is going to go on, your life is going to go on. So just ignore the negativity for the most part as long as you can, and just focus on trying to do as much good as you can. That's pretty much what I got from it.
I like that. So another part of kind of what's happening is that this is also our last episode that we have where President Obama is still president. And that is that's a wild thought. He's been president for a long time, pretty much as long as I've been an adult. The first election I got to vote in was the 2008 election. And so I was super excited. I got up at that's a lie. I was already awake. That was a really good example. We talked about all-nighters last week. Really good example of that is I didn't sleep the night before. I was having a hard time, and I got up I got out of my apartment the next morning and went and voted. I was super excited to do it, and then there was a whole party on Broad Street where it was really fun. I listened to his acceptance speech out of someone's car door. That I was in a large crowd around this car, and there were a few people on top of the car, and we were all just listening. We were having a great time, and then we danced, and it was good.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of it's kind of coming, but it's 8 years is a long time, so it kind of becomes second nature to just think oh, Obama's president. So then when it's time for a change, it's just oh, there's time for a change. What?
Yes, and what a change it is.
Six coffee.
Yep. The it's gonna be wild. Inauguration is Friday, which will be really fun. Are you gonna watch?
No.
Nope. Me either.
I mean, to be honest, I don't really watch any presidential inaugurations. To be completely honest, once they're in. We'll see what they do from there.
I watched Obama's first. And if I'm not mixing it up with the second one, Aretha Franklin came out and sang, and that was pretty rad. But not super excited. I've been reading a lot of news the last couple of weeks, and it's all been bonzo. It's been great. It's been absolutely insane.
I just feel like it's going to be even more of this side against that side because of everyone's own personal beliefs and whatever the hell you believe in, whether it be your religious beliefs, your economic status, and how you feel about that. So it's just going to be something.
Yes. And there are, it's going to be really exciting. He's got people maybe performing. There's been a lot of speculation about that because so many people have said no.
I think Mariah Carey. I mean, the New Year's Eve performance she did would be the quality I think that he would deserve. I'm just saying. Lip syncing, walking off. Pretty sure that could happen. Just saying.
So I think we're gonna have a great time enjoying the last few days of civilization. It's gonna be really wild party for the next couple of days, and then we'll see you next week after the world has completely ended. It's gonna be great.
I don't even know what to say.
Anyway, as we wrap up this wonderful set of topics, enjoy your coffee. Go use your MLK Day however you see fit. I will be doing some sort of service, whether it's volunteering if I have remember to sign up for something this year, otherwise you'll see me cleaning up something. And have a good week.